Hey everyone, and welcome to another YouTube video. My name is Trey Cockrum, and in this video we're talking about how to pick the niche that you sell consulting to. And online consulting is just the best way to make $5,000 to $15,000 a month from home. Just working with clients and loving your work. And it's the same business that took me from $300 at 17 to over $1 million in total sales in a single year at 20. And with consulting, I was able to change my life, and a lot of people want to do that, but they don't even know, what their niche could be. So they might not have any sort of background experience or really even, feel like an expert in anything. Or not only that, they might not even really necessarily know how to sell or how to approach an industry or how to put together an offer. And if that sounds like you, then this video is going to be for you, because I'm going to tell you how to do that, how to actually find an industry, how to identify sort of a problem that they might have, and how to source solutions and source expertise and source answers in order to create an offer and deliver it to your niche to make money and grow your business. All right, and this applies to people who have never even sold consulting before or who have never even run their own business before. Okay, so it's gonna be a really powerful video. So I'm gonna take you from not knowing how to do these things to not just knowing how to do these things, but actually having the confidence to go out and sell whatever it is that you've built. Okay, so what is your niche? What are you going to sell? So let me start off by telling you a story of somebody that I worked with back when I was just getting started helping other people start their own consulting businesses. And I had been succeeding with my business there for a sec. And as you maybe you know my story, some people started asking me sort of how to do it themselves. And so I just started sharing some ideas with them. And this guy, he came to me basically zero. So he was a college student, okay, and he was going to be going into like a medical field of some sort. But he stumbled onto me on the internet, and he'd seen a lot of people promoting that this business model could work, and he figured he wanted to work with me to do it. And so he was at raw zero. So no skills, pretty much no money in the bank, no background expertise at all. Okay, and this person's name was actually Keaton. Okay, so I'll tell you Keaton's story. And when Keaton came to me, like I said, not a lot going on in terms of existing expertise or experience. And he basically said, I know that if I found the right offer and the right marketplace and everything that I could succeed, but I just don't know how to go about that. And literally all I know is that if I can sell a $5,000 consulting offer, even just a $2,000 consulting offer, that I could keep $4,000 or I could keep $1,800 or $1,700 of that because it's just so profitable, but I just don't know where to start. So on our very first coaching call, so we worked together for about 3 months. And in this time frame, I took him from zero to his first $10,000 a month on the internet. And the very first thing that we did on this very first coaching call was what I call breakthrough niche discovery. And with the process of breakthrough niche discovery, it shows you how to either look inwards into yourself to identify what you could bring, or look outwards into the world and into the markets that exist in the world to figure out what the major problems are, and then source expertise and solve those problems. Okay, and so we stumbled into 5 potential niches that he could serve. And I don't remember the other 4, but I remember the one that he decided he wanted to do. Because what we did was I just told him, hey man, what I need you to do is I need you to go out, and I need you to think about what are some industries that you maybe have some connections with, family, friends, anybody maybe owns a business in that space, or somebody that has a specific problem. This is where you start with a really wide net. A lot of people, they try to go too specific too quickly, but you really just need to start with a very wide net and just let the market tell you what it wants, okay? And so I told him I need him to call at least 50 local businesses, which sounds like a lot, but it's not that hard to do. You can do it in a couple hours. And then I need you to talk to a bunch of family, friends, and people in your life, and just basically ask them, hey, I'm starting this program, and I'm just looking for opportunities to grow my business. And so my mentor who I'm working with is telling me to basically ask around and ask, what people's goals are and if there's any challenges in facing them. And I don't really have anything to sell yet, but I'm just trying to sort of see what I could do. And to our surprise, and well, not our surprise, to his surprise, he actually got some really viable answers. And so he landed on 5 industries. Okay, now again, like I said, I can't remember the other 4 because this has been almost 3 years ago. But the one that we picked, we literally took these 5 and we put them into a random number generator on the internet. Okay? And so we gave the random number generator, hey, generate any number between 1 and 5. And then we assigned each niche a number, and it spat out number 4. And number 4 happened to be chiropractors. And that was the niche that we went after. And we decided that for chiropractors, what we're going to do is we're just going to help them with their main problem, which was just getting more customers. So that was their main problem. So we asked them, like, is your problem like the speed of the delivery of your service? Is the problem the talent and like attracting high quality people into your chiropractic service? And they said, no, our main problem is just getting more leads. Like, we just need more leads. Like, we know that if we had more leads, we could grow. And so we said, okay, so let's become a, marketing consulting company, and let's work specifically for chiropractors, right? And now, when my students go through this discovery process of, what we call the market, let me do this. Keaton went through the market backwards approach. This is what we call it. It's called the market backwards approach. This is when, instead of looking at yourself and saying, what can I do? You go into the world and you ask just really good questions, and you'll find all kinds of opportunities. The problem was, obviously, Keaton had no marketing experience, had no chiropractor experience, and so how do we even go about solving this? Well, the next step that we went into is we built his CST. Okay? Now, what is a CST? This is something that I help our students do, and it's called a customer success timeline. And this is where you actually look at point A, which for chiropractors was not enough business, not enough leads, to point B, which was an abundance of leads. What are some theories and some ways that we could solve this problem? So what we did was we contacted a bunch of very successful chiropractic companies and asked them what they were doing. Very simply put. And what they said that they were doing, a lot of them were running advertising on the internet. So they had like Google SEO ads, and they had Facebook ads, and they were even willing to share some of their funnels and stuff. And then I even encouraged Keaton to drop a little bit of money. I think it was like $200 on like this how to marketing for a chiropractor's course or something. And so then we came up with our own customer success timeline, which is a series of actions to go from A to Z, in linear fashion, that takes somebody from where they are to where they want to get. And we did some research and found some strategies. And then I told him, all right, dude, so you've asked all these chiropractors what their problems are. You've done some research. Now what I want you to do is I want you to join a bunch of online groups with chiropractors in them and start teaching on these concepts in your CST that you've gathered from these other experts, from these other people, and just see if it resonates. And it did. And he actually started signing clients. And, people started wondering how they can apply this to their own chiropractic business. And because he started with a strong need. Now, a lot of people, when they first get started in consulting, or they hear me talking about consulting, they think that they need to be the expert. They think that they need to have it figured out, and they need to know what it is that they're going to sell before they even start. And this is just such a lie that holds so many people back. The reality is that online consulting is a deeply expansive marketplace, because as long as there's people, they're going to have goals. And as long as those goals continue to go unmet, or they don't have one of three things, they don't have either clarity of how to achieve their goals, they don't have a clear process of how to achieve their goals, or they don't have that accountability to achieve their goals, then there's going to continue to be a marketplace for people to come in and make money selling one of these three things: clarity, or process, or accountability. And so this is why online consulting is so cool, is because you can literally step into this thing, and even if you don't know what your background is, start making sales within your first couple months when you follow our market backwards approach. And then Keaton actually followed what we call our flywheel marketing system. This is where you use existing online communities, and you kind of just leverage their existence to create some inbound opportunity. So if this helps you with kind of how you can discover your own niche, leave a comment below and share how it did. And now I kind of want to talk about some simple strategies to help you discover your own niche right now. So, you're not Keaton, you're not actually working with me, and you don't have, our program right in front of you, and I want you to have that clarity nonetheless. And so there's a couple steps, okay? Couple simple steps. The first is literally, and I know this sounds a little too broad for some people, the first is just come up with a niche. Now, when I say come up with a niche, I'm not saying do all the market backwards stuff and call all this business and call all those people and whatever. I'm just saying pick a group of people. This is where you get to get really creative. You can just pick a group of people. We've got one student in our program, or students really, there's Sam and Miranda. They're a husband and wife team, and they help husband and wife entrepreneurs balance kids, marriage, and business. And that's a really neat niche that they're in, and it's because, they can kind of relate to that. So when you're looking at a niche, you can either look, again, inward at yourself or outward at the world. So outward at the world or inward at yourself. So inward at yourself is results that you've gotten in your life that maybe other people want. Outward at the world is, I don't really know that I've done anything that is worth, other people paying to be able to achieve. So what are some problems that other people have? So Sam and Miranda obviously looked inside. They said, we're a husband and wife team, and we seem to balance it pretty well, so maybe that's what we could do. And they just signed a $10,000 package for a company owner who wanted their help, which is really cool. But you can also go outwards and say, what are some problems? You can start looking at different businesses that might have certain problems, or you can look at different industries, or one student in our program, her name's Ashland, and she helps women heal from past traumas. She's a single mother, and she decided, what, I've kind of been through this, plus there's a need for it. We have another student who just joined our program, has no idea what their niche is, and they decided, I'm going to help real estate business owners, I think with their team culture or something like this. Another one, she decided she was going to be a leadership consultant to help people, lead their organizations better. And all of these things can be gathered by existing expertise in the marketplace, because these solutions already exist, right? And you can package them and put them in such a way that people can succeed with them. So pick a niche and either go outwards into the marketplace, outwards into the real world, and you can do this by finding groups and communities online, or you can do this by just calling up local businesses or joining maybe, meetup.com online communities that, relate to the thing that you're trying to do, whatever it is. If it's a personal thing, like a fitness or health thing, and it's not so much a business thing, you can use groups and communities on the internet like Reddit forums, Facebook groups, meetup.com, these sorts of things to sort of find, what these problems could be and then piece together and create a solution. Okay? Then the next step is to actually develop your CST. CST. This is your customer success timeline. And this is, this asset really you need it only good enough to sell. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be good enough to sell. And if you try and make it perfect and you try and make this thing like crystal clear and pristine before you go and sell it, most of the time you're going to find that you have built something that people don't actually care about or want. And so once you have your CST, this is just a beginning point, a point A, and a point B, and at least 3 major steps between here and there. And it can be anywhere from 3 all the way up to, 100. It can be as detailed as you need it to be, but basically these are the action items that, say somebody were to work with you, that they need to do. And you don't have to source the solutions, you can just direct them to the resources. So say it's a book they need to read, just direct them to the book. Say it's a YouTube video they need to watch, just direct them to the YouTube video. And that's fine, because people just want the end. They're not actually paying for your expertise. They're not paying for your expertise, they're paying for the end, right? And so if you just get them to the end, then they're going to buy. And not only going to buy, they're going to succeed. Okay, so develop a CST. And then the final thing, this is obviously actually go out and market yourself and sign clients, but, that's for another video. So these are the steps. It's literally just go outwards, find problems, source solutions from experts, or look inwards, what are the results that you've gotten? Okay, and then start to develop what we call a CST. So this is how to find your niche. This is how to build what we is basically known as a minimum viable offer. This is something that is good enough to sell, and that if you were to start a consulting business, this could make you money very quickly, because you already know what it is that people need solutions to, and you have a clear market backwards approach that creates an offer that could sell. So hopefully this has been a valuable piece of content for you. And hopefully that story of Keaton inspires you, because I think a lot of people, they really overcomplicate picking their niche. They get really, really, really hung up here. And I'll say this, of the students that I've worked with, we've worked with hundreds of people now, and just about 20 or 25 of them, somewhere between there, have gotten to over $1 million a year in their consulting businesses, okay? And a majority of the people that got to $1 million a year, so these are the top people in, our programs. We even have one student who does over $10 million a year now. But for the guy that does for the people that do $1 million a year or more, they've changed their niche at least 3 times since joining me. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, is that, in order for you to have the highest likelihood of success, you need to be extremely willing to pivot. And so the niche that you pick when you first, even some of those first sales, those first $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 clients, those might not be the ones that you stick with. they might not be the ones that you stay on, in order to get to $100,000 to $300,000 a year in income. It might change, and you need to be willing to go through that change, and you need to be willing to pivot and adapt based on what your marketplace is telling you and based on the research that you're doing. Okay. So if this has been a valuable video for you, if it has been, please leave a positive comment below. Let me know what your key takeaways are from this video, and if it was a valuable video, then share it around, and yeah, let me know what your thoughts were. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.